Out. Konbanwa, minasan, tomo arigato gozaimasu. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. Super Kami Guru Alucard desu. Yes, it's Super Kami Guru Alucard. And this will be our final episode of the series. Completely. Because originally we were supposed to have Retrospect guest star to celebrate our 40th episode, and he bailed on me at the last moment. Crowd participation has kind of gone down in the ratings. We don't have people commenting, asking for their fortune to be told as much as we used to. So we decided we will give one final show, and that'll be it. But let's make it the best since it's our final. We'll try to do the best we can. It is a little disappointing. As usual, if you are interested in having your own fortune told, in the description, you can find the bonuses by donating to PayPal, which will all be funded to fund, well, it'll all be given to fund new musical projects. And of course, if you would like to hear all of the songs released by me so far, there is also a playlist for that. So we will get right into it. And yeah, a little disappointed, but we will have plenty of things to talk about tonight, too. So, and of course, our Neville Goddard reading. So let's make the most of our final show, right? If more people were into this, if they participated, maybe I would have kept it going. But seems like, you know what? We'll just do one more show and call it a night. So, all great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, revealed to me the message regarding my general future. Race. The fight, the voice, the move, the sweet, the Libra, the thunder, the erase, change, the maze, and the nothing. Okay, so so we have the fight card first, which symbolizes it being a fight, a struggle of passion, which, as you could explain by my state of emotions and mentally doing this show, it is already a fight to even get through this. The voice, of course, in the future, I will be using my voice more probably for other things, is what this symbolizes, especially because we have the move card, which indicates movement, changing perhaps my field, what I'm going to be doing as far as music, and how I will be using my voices in other ways. Especially being a Buddhist, I was actually an MC when we did our Winter Lotus Sutra reading, so perhaps in that regard. We have the sweet card, which indicates things are sweeter in the future to come. Libra indicates finding balance, keeping the scales even in, emotional and work related things. Then, of course, we have the Thunder card, which means I'm feeling really charged up. It's like there's never thunder without lightning and never lightning without thunder. So there's a bright sort of shining to this. And then, of course, we have the erase card, letting go of old things, which I realized with a lot of circumstances I was put in lately, handling them differently. They were very similar to things in the past, but I handled them completely different, which shows my growth. It shows my change in how I'm letting go of the past, erasing it. The change, of course, confirms this because there has been a lot of changes. Maybe not so much on the outer appearance of things, but in inner wise, a lot of changes. I'm definitely not the same person I was when I first started this show. Next, we have the maze card, which means that there are many paths I could take moving forward, that I'm sort of lost in this journey with many different directions I could go. And of course, we have the nothing card, which indicates that nothing needs to be done as far as moving forward, because as things will be, they shall be. So that's actually a very interesting reading that gives me some clarity and guidance of what I am doing moving forward. So next we will do romance, then career, then we will read Neville Goddard, and we will have our discussion after that, which of course will be our final one of the series. Now, it's not that I didn't enjoy it, but it feels like I could do this show by myself if nobody else was watching. I wouldn't need to do a show. The whole point is for other people to participate, learn something, and help other people out. But if it's not helping other people, if it's not doing them any favors, there's not really any point. So okay, next, getting into it, we will do romance first. So, oh great Clow cards of Kurorito, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me a message regarding my romantic situation. Reis. The freeze, the heart, or the love card, the little, the dream, and the loop. This is very interesting. So, first we have the freeze card, which means things seem to be frozen, not really going anywhere, which in some regards I would say that's very true. But then we have the heart card or the love card, indicating that there is love ever present throughout this situation. The little card indicates that little changes towards the romantic situation are slowly occurring. And the fact that we got the dream card, which is symbolic of having visions and dreams, indicates that there might be further guidance from future dreams to come moving forward, which I've gotten many dreams about Hitomi and other things in the past, so possibly that could be a clue. The loop card indicates that things seem to be on a repeating cycle, meaning it's going round and round, and it doesn't seem like it's really going anywhere different, but it's about breaking the loop, breaking the cycle that will set me free. That's the energy I pick up on with these particular cards tonight. So next we will do career, and then we will read Neville Goddard. So, all great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me what guidance or message you have regarding my career's current situation. Reis. The create, the mirror, the rain, the sword, and the lock. All right, so I'll put those there. Put those there too, just so I remember to shuffle those next time. All right, so first we have the create card, which indicates being very creative, which with my book, with working on the music, I have been in that constant state of creation, which as an artist, as an entertainer, that's constantly what I'm doing. I'm living the spirit of the create card constantly, which makes sense. It would pop up. It pops up a lot because that's a very symbolic card to how I am. It's very interesting. Next, we have the mirror card, which means it's reflecting the good and bad of all my situations. What's inside is reflected out. And it feels like that is reflecting in the art that I'm making, as well as the art that I'm listening to lately, which we will talk about closer to the end of the show because I have some great new records to my collection I will share and show how my art has been focused in that regard. Next, we have the rain card, which means things are going through a rainy season, but without sunshine and rain, the grass won't grow. So it's necessary. And it feels like I really have hit that rainy season, almost like when spring comes, it's rainy for quite a while before the flowers start to bloom and blossom. Then we have the sword card, which means I'm finding my own inner strength throughout this and getting stronger. I'm mastering my own self because that's an old Japanese proverb. The mind is the sword is the sight. If the mind is right, the sword sight will be more precise. Something like that. And then we have the lock card, which means I'm very fixated and focused on what I'm working towards, which is very true. I always have been, but I'd say it's even more so now I'm trying not to let certain distractions of the past get to me, and really working towards being myself and doing things my way. Now, for anybody tuning in, I hope you are enjoying the program so far. Let us get into our Neville Goddard reading now. So, I am not sure, but I do believe we are actually near the end of Oh, see, this is a very short chapter. We're not near the end of the book, but see, if we kept doing episodes, after 3 more episodes, we actually would be finished Prayer of the Art of Believing by Neville Goddard. So if somehow, enough people like encouraged me or pushed me to keep going and keep making more episodes, we probably would finish the book. But if not, definitely go check it out. Prayer of the Art of Believing by Neville Goddard. So tonight we will read chapter 4 of this book. Very short, not long at all. Actually, it's only 2 pages. So, all right. So, chapter 4, Controlled Reverie. Everyone is amenable to the same psychological laws which govern the ordinary hypnotic subject. He is amenable to control by suggestion. In hypnosis, the objective senses are partly or totally suspended. However, no matter how profoundly the objective senses are locked in hypnosis, the subjective faculties are alert, and the subject recognizes everything that goes on around him. The activity and power of the subjective mind are proportionate to the sleep of the objective mind. Suggestions which appear powerless when presented directly to the objective consciousness are highly efficacious when the subject is in a hypnotic state. The hypnotic state is simply being unaware. Objectively, in hypnotism, the conscious mind is put to sleep and the subconscious powers are exposed as to be directly reached by suggestion. It is easy to see from this, providing you accept the truth of mental suggestions, that anyone not objectively aware of you is in a profound hypnotic state relative to you. Therefore, curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in the bedchamber. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. What you sincerely believe is true of another, you will awaken within him. No one need to be entranced in the ordinary manner to be helped. If the subject is consciously unaware of the suggestion, and if the suggestion is given with conviction and confidently accepted by the operator as true, then you have the ideal setting for a successful prayer. Represent the subject to yourself mentally as though he had already done that which you desire him to do. Mentally speak to him and congratulate him on having done what you want him to do. Mentally see him in the state you want him to obtain. Within the circle of its action, every word subjectively spoken awakens objectively what it affirms. Incredulity on the part of the subject is no hindrance when you are in control of your reverie. Bold assertion by you, while you are in a partly subjective state, awakens what you affirm. Self-confidence on your part and the thorough belief in the truth of your mental assertion are all that is needed to produce results. Visualize the subject and imagine that you hear his voice. This establishes contact with his subjective mind. Then imagine that he is telling you what you want to hear. If you want to send him words of health and wealth, then imagine that he is telling you, I have never felt better and I have never had more, and mentally tell him of your joy in witnessing his good fortune. Imagine that you see and hear his joy. A mental conversation with the subjective image of another must be in a manner which does not express the slightest doubt as to the truth of what you hear and say. If you have the least idea that you do not believe what you have imagined, you have heard and seen, the subject will not comply, for your subjective mind will transmit only fixed ideas. Only fixed ideas can awaken their vibratory correlates in those toward whom they are directed. In the controlled reverie, ideas must be suggested with the utmost care. If you do not control your imagination in the reverie, your imagination will control you. Whatever you suggest with confidence is law to the subjective mind. It is under obligation to objectify that which you mentally affirm. Not only does the subject execute the state affirmed, but he does it as though the decision had come of itself, or the idea, or the idea had originated by him. Control of the subconscious is dominion over all. Each state obeys one's mind control. Control of the subconscious is accomplished through control of your beliefs, which in turn is the all potent factor in the visible states. Imagination and faith are the secrets of creation. And that concludes our chapter from Neville Goddard tonight. So, as I mentioned, we will talk about the latest music I have been listening to. I got 4 CDs in the mail. 3 are Hitomi Shimatani CDs because, as you know, I love her, and I've slowly been working towards collecting all of her records. I only got 5 more to go, and then I have all of them. So I'm getting there. But on top of that, the first one we'll talk about is Anna Tsuchiya's debut album, Strip Me, which is a really wonderful album. I was actually listening to the whole record today, and I mean, start to finish, this is probably one of my favorite Japanese albums ever. I mean, I love the songs that she did on this album for the anime Nana, which is the first 2 songs, Zero and Rose. But I mean, even after that, this album is nonstop. Like, it's a punk rock, like, banger party. Like, it's just great. Like, you got No Way, then Loving You, Under My Mask, True Colors, Give Me Kiss and Kiss. Then you get like the really soft ballad near halfway into the album with Forever. And then you get the interlude where the groove starts to pick up again, and then it leads into Change Your Life, which is another one of my favorite songs by her. It's fantastic. And then you get Ecstasy, Jane, Grooving, Beating, Knockdown, and then Slap That Naughty Body, which I could see why they chose her to play the songs for Nana Osaki's character in Nana the anime, because she gives off the vibe like she really could be like the real life version of Nana Osaki. So it's very cool. In fact, what's awesome about her that makes her so unique and dynamic, even among other Japanese artists, is the fact that she's half Japanese, and then her father was a Polish American. So she spent time in America. And actually, a lot of the songs on this record are in English, which is very fascinating. But of course, she kicks ass. It's a really solid rock album. And it comes with a bonus DVD, which I have not checked out yet. I might even do that after the show tonight, just because now I kind of want to, now that I talked about it. But, okay. So that's one of the records I said has been kind of having an influence on how I've felt lately and inspiration and encouragement for working on the new album. I've actually had a lot of my Japanese friends notice me listen to that and comment about how famous she is there, because she's been a television personality, an actress, and a model as well. She's definitely very good looking too. Definitely. Like, it doesn't hurt. Plus, I actually love the unique punk rock vibe of her music. Like, I would say she takes what the Ramones and the Sex Pistols did and then mixes Japanese pop into the formula. So it's just got a crazy, wild vibe to it that I love. So with the Hitomi Shimatani records, going in order, I got Remembrance and Love Letter, which is a fantastic record. I could actually say this record would be up there as one of my favorites. Now, I love all her songs, I love all her albums, but the reason I say this one in particular, what makes it special to me is these were a lot of the songs I first heard from Hitomi. Like Angelus was the very first one I heard, being a song on the Inuyasha soundtrack. And then Jewel of Kiss, Remembrance plus Love Letter, which is the title track for the album. Zip Zap Zipangu, Viola. Yeah, these are all like a lot of the songs I first heard when I first listened to her. And then of course a lot of the other songs which I hadn't heard were great. And there was also an album version of Yume, which it doesn't have the choir singing with her, like the choir of kids, like the video single version, but it's still really good. Like even when she's just singing backup with herself, it's got like a whole different vibe. And there's actually like a really nice harmonica solo in place of where the kids would be singing like the na 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 na. So it kind of actually has its own vibe to it. And that's what I love about her, especially with her music, is that she could do the same song so many ways. And if she does it differently, it gives off a whole new vibe, but it always sounds great and amazing no matter how she does the song, because she's just got magic. It's a Hitomi Shimatani song. So that album, fantastic. I definitely recommend that, like Remembrance plus Love Letter. And then, of course, in sequence, I actually realized too, before the final one I will talk about, the album I mentioned I had gotten a while ago, Flare, would have technically come before it. But Flare, Remembrance plus Love Letter, and this one, Prima Rosa, are among my favorites. This actually has a DVD, which I gotta listen to too. I love how Avex just throws the bonus DVDs in a bunch of their like artists like album projects. Like it's great. They definitely know how to market their singers, and that's probably why they're such a big label. And they've had like all the great artists like Ayumi Hamasaki, Hitomi Shimatani, who's now independent, but that's just because she's a boss. And then Anna Tsuchiya too, right? So it's just great that they've had those kind of artists under their caliber at one point. Probably one of the biggest labels in Japan. But yeah, Prima Rosa has the great song Ramblin', which was a single for her. Very touching, beautiful music video where the kids are trying to find a spot where there's a bunch of flowers, and they want to plant their flowers with them. But then when they get there, they realize the place isn't what they thought it was or what it used to be. And so they plant the pictures to kind of try and restore it. Like they plant the flowers to try and restore the place to the way it used to be in the pictures in the book they were looking at. It's a very beautiful message, right? Like that rambling road journey to get there. It's truly life. It's truly love. It's beautiful. So, of course, it's got other songs, but it actually gets into one of my all-time favorite songs. I apologize for the train. They always love to show up when I'm doing the show. But as I was saying, the track number 4, Dragonfly, is probably one of my all-time favorites. I love the 80s synth pop vibe. The guitar solo is rocking, and I just love how she sings that song. That song was actually the second one I ever heard after Angelus. So that will always have like a very special place in my heart. That's kind of why I love Flair so much too, because Neva Ava was actually the third song I ever heard by her, and that's one of my all-time favorites too. I'll say this. I love all her songs, but if I really have to be honest, I think I hold a special place for the first ones I actually heard by her, because that's what made me keep listening and realize like, every song by her is so good. But those were the first 3 I heard. Angelus, Dragonfly, and Neva Ava in that order, right? So Dragonfly is great. And then we have the album version of Camarilla, Prima Rosa album version, which I really loved how they did that song because there's a lot more like softer ballad qualities to this album's version of the song where it builds up and it like builds the tension and it's completely rearranged in some ways, and yet it actually makes the song sound so much more like a beautiful ballad that way, which was really cool. And then, of course, she has Destiny after that. Great song. That was actually one of the first I remember hearing from her, too. I love that one. And then Tears of Love, which that's one of those songs she just sings so beautifully that, like, there's been times I watched that music video and I shed a tear just because it's so touching. It's a very beautiful song. And then Pa Shio, which I actually learned fully what the lyrics mean today because I understand a good chunk of it, but I didn't understand every part of that song. And I realized, like, when you first hear it, it almost sounds like a very sexual song, but it's not. It's actually talking about feeling so strongly to somebody with such an intense passion that those sort of factors and elements like come into play. It almost makes it like a song that, as she describes in the lyrics, like the translate, she would describe the song as being a song that no other song sounds like because it's such an intense passion, which I think that's the whole point of the song is being drawn to somebody so much that like any sort of lust or sexual acts would just be so natural because like you just feel so consumed by the love you have for this person. So it's very beautiful. And then of course the album ends with a song I had never heard before, which I had to talk about this. It was so funny. Brand New Dream. Now, I'd never heard the song until today. And yet when I was listening to it near the end, I was so in the zone of the song. I was singing along with words. I never heard or looked up the lyrics or nothing. And yet, right near the end, I was singing it perfectly with her. And I actually guessed what she was going to sing before I knew she was going to sing it. And I was right. And I was like, wow. I was like, just totally in the Hitomi Shimatani zone where it's like I predicted what the words were going to be before they even came. And it was just really beautiful. I was like, wow. I really am connected to Hitomi. So, yeah, Prima Rosa, great album. Like I said, this would be up there just because one of my all-time favorite songs by her is on it. And then we had the crossover album, which had a lot of like revamped different versions of songs, such as Perseus, Garnet Moon, Zip Zop, Zipangu, Shanti and Remembrance plus Love Letter. But then there were other songs that were completely original, like I Will, which was a single I knew because I have like her 3 disc greatest hits, which is all her singles, right? I Will is on there. So I knew that song from there. I didn't know that that was like actually the main single of the original songs from the crossover album. So very wonderful album because you get to hear different versions of some of her biggest hits, but then you get to hear some really beautiful original songs in the middle of it. And honestly, I Will is probably one of the most inspiring, beautiful songs Hitomi has ever sung. Like, that's one of those songs when it's like I feel like all hope is lost. I will put that music video on just to like build the fire in me and give me that inner strength back because it's so beautiful and inspiring, right? It's a great song. So, yeah, so that's, the new collection of CDs, which, like I said, after I get 5 more Hitomi Shimatani CDs, I actually would have her entire collection. So I'm almost there. And I mean, she's got a lot of CDs, like a lot of releases. And I know that because according to my iTunes, it says I have 14 songs of hers and 170 songs of hers. But I mean, 14 different albums. Some are singles, mind you, or EPs. But the fact is, I already have 14. And that's not even all of them. We have another 19 more to go, right? I mean, we would have 19 in total, but 5 more to go. And then, of course, if she does another album or another single in the future, that would round it off to 20. But, keep it growing. I have a special photograph of hers that I cherish. I have her autograph. I obviously have the vision board collage and pictures and stickers all around the room of her. And, you know, I would say, like, I love her unconditionally as an artist. Like, she's a hero to me. I love every song she does. I'd say I love everything about her because as a person, watching her vlogs and seeing how she is as a person, all the beautiful things she does, she never fails to amaze me. I always see more and more, and I feel like I just fall more and more in love with her. Like, I love everything about her. Like, I will always be the die-hard North American fan. In fact, a lot of the members in the VIP fan club, which I'm a part of, we get special perks. By the way, I'm actually still waiting to get that shirt and that calendar. My friend Haruka ordered it for me because you could only get it in Japan, and then she mailed it to me. So I'm waiting to get that here in Canada. I'm going to be rocking that crossover shirt, just like the CD. Have the calendar, even if it's expired. I'll just keep it for the beautiful pictures because I also have a book of just a collection of her photos around the time she did The Girl with the Flaxen Hair. She did like a picture book, pictures of her in Hawaii. Very beautiful. So yeah, as you could tell, a lot of the Japanese people in the group, they say you're the biggest fan of hers and the biggest supporter from Canada and North America. Because I'm like the only Canadian there. Like, I'll put it this way. I have not even seen an American in this group. Like, it's all Japanese people. I haven't even seen anybody who wasn't Japanese, but they all acknowledge me as that. They're like, oh, yeah, like, they're amazed. They're like, you know all her songs, and you're such a big fan. Like, you're the biggest supporter from North America. So I'm very proud of that, right? So always have my support. I mean, that's why I did the song dedicated to her, where she makes a cameo in the video. Boku mo aishiteru yo, which if you haven't heard it yet, go check it out. It's great. We actually are, if not there yet, I think we're close to 3,800 views. We might even have made it there and be higher. I'm not sure yet. But we're getting closer to that 4,000 video views mark. So that song is the biggest hit of my career. And I'm proud because, of course, it's dedicated to the lovely Hitomi Sumatani. So that's all I was really going to talk about. As far as the album's concerned, with Timebreaker, I'm going to hopefully be able to get another 3 songs done for that next month. Reiko is still finishing up her parts. Once she gets those done, I will book some studio time, go lay out another 3 tracks, and then hopefully by April, go do 3 more tracks and finish the album off. And then I'm going to start fully saving for Japan, right? So just want to, finish what I started. And, especially if I take like a hiatus from music for a while, at least I'm taking a break on a very high note, especially because this single, Boku mo Aishiteru yo, has been such a massive success, bigger than any of my other songs. I mean, I'm really trying to strike while the iron's hot and make sure I put together the best album I can to accompany this song. So thanks everybody for supporting, and keep watching. Definitely check out the songs. And you know what? Maybe in the future we will come back and do some more live Clow card readings. But like I said, especially with the disappointment of Retrospect not coming to be a guest on today's show, I I don't know, I feel melancholic about it. I would just want to at least take a break, but I might not do it for a while. Focus on other things, right? But thanks everybody who did watch and enjoy the show. And of course, if you actually do enjoy the show, um please comment, let me know. I do appreciate when people do that. And then like, share, subscribe, all the works. And of course, if you check out the description, you want to donate to help fund Tiebreaker, there's some special bonus prizes for anybody who does. And of course, you can click the link to the playlist where you would get to hear every song I made as Super Kami Guru Alucard and the jazz band, the S.O.S. Brigade Quartet. So till next time, I'm your host, Super Kami Guru Alucard. Hope you all enjoyed this. Oyasumi nasai. Domo arigatou gozaimasu minasan. Matane, Super Kami Guru Alucard. Peace out.